Hello and welcome back to the Real Music Talks. Today's guest is Wakey Wakey Rise and Shine, a four-piece band from Bristol. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Good, thanks.
Good.
Good, glad to hear it, glad to hear it. So for people that have never heard of your band, how would you describe your musical sound and style?
Limbocore.
Yeah, limbocore.
I don't know how else you can put it.
Is there
So,
is certain bands that inspire you, if that makes sense, and different elements to your sound?
I think anything goes.
We always say that though, don't we? In the band, we always say anything goes. But we like like B-52s. Anyone else got any
I never
inspiration?
thought we'd be like verging on thrash metal,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now we're verging on thrash metal, and what
psychedelic.
psychedelic.
Yeah,
I limbo cool.
in between.
That is nobody knows where limbo is, but we'll be there. I will core it up.
Interesting.
So we've made it up basically. It's a load of rubbish,
Yeah.
but we've made it up. So,
So how did that sound develop? I guess is the question from there then, if you don't have a specific genre that you fit into.
well, it's a tricky one, now, isn't it? It's always tricky, isn't it? Because like it's I guess with it, you don't really we don't really focus on like any other bands or anything, really, do we? I mean, like we kind of got what we got, and we just make noise out of it, really. Like from where we started, we had like a sort of our first single was almost like a bossa nova style with nice little melodic psychedelic thing, and now as like Smudger said, we're now gone way over the next spectrum into like thrash metal now. So yeah, there's quite a combination of things going on, but that's how it's all developed, really, essentially.
But I'd say like when it's like thrash metal, it's not the entire song is thrash metal. It's like it's got its moment, and then it's like I can breathe. Oh, there's a mosh pit going on. Oh, it's like that sort of.
Yeah, when we're making the songs, it's kind of like it's quite a nice environment to be in. It's like anything really goes. We give anything a go, really, don't we? It's
I
nice.
think I think so. I think we're lucky in that aspect, really.
Mm.
So I think with that in mind, it'd be useful if you guys could talk about maybe like your own musical journey, perhaps individually. So like what instruments did you play? Like how did you get into music? What did that look like?
I guess I'll go first on this one then. So yeah, I've been playing drums now for about 20 years. I started, yeah, probably when I was about seven. So, and the way I got into music, if I remember rightly, was seeing a clip of Keith Moon from The Who, blowing up his drum kit, essentially. I think my dad showed me that clip when I was really young. And yeah, I turned around to my dad and said, that's what I want to do. So that Christmas, he got me a drum kit, and I haven't looked back since in terms of playing drums. I did play the flute at one point as well, and I've recently borrowed the flute again from Harry.
Oh
I've not
yes.
actually picked it up though, so I do need to do that. But my then I kind of like I've into all sorts of music growing up. Really, to be honest, I'm heavy background of like soul, particularly from like my mum's side, Bowie and like new wave kind of stuff from my dad's side as well. And then I've started gigging really since the age of like 12 as well, when we had school jazz bands, soul bands. Soul band was a really good one for me, and recently did a gig with them only about 2 3 weeks ago, actually, like a nice little reunion gig, so that was good. And then came to uni where I met Smudge, and we were actually in separate bands for quite a while, to be fair. Moved like for a number of years, to be honest, and then we played in loads of different bands, to be honest. But and then when we've got to where we are now, I guess Smudge reached out to me after kind of both of our old bands were falling apart, essentially due to like the pandemic and all other sorts of things and all that. And then yeah, we kind of got together all in the pandemic, really. To be honest, we kind of been practicing loads throughout there, so we've not done as many gigs as we'd like to, because obviously no one would have been able to do it at that time. But that's kind of in a nutshell where I've come from in terms of my musical background, really.
Yeah, so swiftly move on to me. So yeah, I mine's a weird one. So I was never really interested in music, and then my sister didn't want a guitar lesson, so I took the guitar lesson and was like, oh, actually, I get it. And then it was like a bit of a struggle, a bit of a challenge, you know, like concentration. And then I was like, right, this is for me. Before that, I was like, I want to be a sparky plumber, bricklayer. And then I'm just like, look at me now. There's no way am I lifting up a brick. but yeah, no, yeah, that was it. And then I kind of like developed my music taste through my auntie. She used to listen to a lot of trance music, and I was like, yes, yes. And then all that Swansea crew in it. And then next thing you know, then I'm moving to uni, studying music, meeting our lad Seamus, and then yeah, did bands, bits of bands, stopped those bands, had crazy shows, and then started new band with these boys. And then, yeah, that's me.
Nice. Yeah. So I I was mad to think actually then, Seamus, when you said that you've been playing drums for 20 years, and I was like, actually, that's probably about right for me as well. I didn't even think it was going to be that long, but saying 20 years is actually sounds really weird. But I was playing piano from a very, very young age, on and off with lessons and stuff. I never really got on with grades and the grading systems, exams and stuff, and like that kind of thing throughout school never really appealed to me. Um, so it was a lot of kind of like me making my own thing as I was progressing through some sort of my own grading system. So it got to a point where I was kind of, as you would dub, maybe mediocrely classically trained. And then I went to uni and I wasn't able to do any music, and it was making me really sad. Music is a massive outlet of mine that I'm able to kind of channel a lot of my feelings through, which is a great little outlet. And then I think I came back from uni, and then I met Smudger at Green Man not that long ago, and then we went to Dot Festival in Bristol, and Smudge had mentioned that he, needs. I think it was on Facebook. I seen him saying, "Any keys players out there?" And I was just like, "Yeah, all right, let's give this a go." And then I met up with him at Dot, and I literally went to PMT that day and bought a little kind of JDXI synthesizer, and was like, "Right, I've got a synth. Let's do this." It was a bit mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So then it all just kicked off from there. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So there you go.
So you've all had a very different path, and obviously you mentioned it a little bit in terms of how you formed, but do you want to talk to me about the process of actually like formally saying we've got a band, sitting down and making like the first bit of music together?
Can I just, before we go and talk about making music ourselves, I think the most interesting bit of the entire band is Duncan. We found him through Gumtree. So anyone who hasn't or has not tried that avenue for finding a bandmate, do it, because it's so much fun.
I need to add to that as well. I've used a site called joinmyband.com for so many years, and it's always worked because I've always found like really good people that are dedicated on there. So there's another one for the list.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. So yeah, playing music. Yeah, I mean, at first it was me that used to bring a lot of material to the table, and when I brought it to the table, then it would kind of start developing and everything. But I think more recently we are. I'm much more enjoying having a little bit of a blank canvas when it comes to writing, and just getting into the rehearsal room and being there and just knocking our guitars and knocking our instruments, and we're just coming up with something that we feel is, well, I feel is a lot more organic. Sometimes it can be challenging, but I like that challenge. It pushes me further. We got, like, recently, I think Duncan was playing something in 11/4, and we were like, what's going on? And then like one of our most recent songs came out of it, and we were like, I never thought that would happen. and that would never have happened with me because I don't think like that all the time, but it's given me a bit more perspective for future like songwriting sessions when I do it by myself. And yeah, it's just like, right, okay, there's more to think about rather than just being in 4/4 and sticking to things like that. And yeah, it's definitely more challenging in like recent rehearsals when we're writing, just because we've got to actually lock in so like a lot tighter.
Yeah, I'd add to that as well. Like, I think that we've kind of got a bit more, like, from where we first started, like we were quite a bit serious maybe with like some of the songwriting or anything like that. And now, to be honest, now we're trying to make songs that make us laugh a lot of the time, really, and try to have fun. Which it sounds funny to say, but it is like trying to have fun with it as much as possible. And like Smudge said, we'll be in like the room together now. And the most recent song that Smudge was referring to was a martial arts song that we kind of come up with. And the writing process of that was just literally like writing words down related to martial arts, whether that was different martial arts or even just sound effects and like punching noises and stuff like that. But now, like, we're doing that now in terms of, especially me as well, I'm bringing in like samples of like the like kung fu kicks and things like that, for example, and like trying to fit that into a song, or like they're getting a scream like the Wilhelm scream. Is it the Wilhelm scream? Is that what it's called? Like, you know, that famous movie?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. They're like, ah! Like when they fall off a cliff. Yeah. But try and get that's in there now. I've sampled that and that's in a song now. So it's got fun and ridiculous, but there is a serious element to it. But like, yeah, we are trying to have as much fun of it as possible now, aren't we? So
It is very fun.
Yeah.
Despite being in limbo.
So obviously you guys get into a room, right? You jam stuff out. How do you go from like some ideas, I guess, to like a finished song? And that could be quite a long process, but maybe talk through how that happens.
That's a good one. Some songs though, they like write themselves, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Like we've had it before where like we can write a song within like 4 minutes or something, and like no, and then everyone's like, that's it, done. Like, and there's usually a feeling of mutual feeling in the room of being like, yeah, that's pretty done. But then you will have songs where we've worked on for months and then don't even see the light of day. Like, you know, there's always kind of conflict with that, really, to be honest.
I mean, there's songs in the set now that we're still working on and debating if we like them or not. It's quite weird. Yeah. It's quite a weird relationship to have with a song. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I've ever been in a band where I felt like that with songs as well. This is definitely one of the first bands that I've been in where the songs have just taken their own life, and we don't know if we want to be mates to them, sort of thing. And but yeah, no, I think like I do like it, the challenge, like with, for example, with Softly Catchy Monkey, when was it your friend Harry that said misnamed us?
Yeah, he was chatting to a friend and then was like, oh, I can't remember their band name. I think it's something like Softly Catchy Monkey.
Yeah, so like from like little moments like that where our band name is just so ridiculous and people are already like, okay, yeah, they're called something else, and I'm just like, how can you get that wrong? But I love it. So yeah, let's play with that. And I think that's pretty much what I did when I wrote that. I started off with like no it was pretty much no instruments really, and it was kind of just playing one chord all the way through it, and then I was the lyrics just rolled for me at that point with that song. And then I think we just got to the chorus and we were like, I don't know if the song needs any words, to be fair. And then Harry just started doing monkey noises and that, and then hey ho, you got a song. So it's strange how songs can come sometimes just to develop in the way that they have. But yeah, no, that I think that was a weird one for me. Given a word and work with that. That's one of the first
Mm.
songs that I've had that happen.
Yeah, that took a long
Yeah.
time actually. That one to write as well, actually, didn't it? Softly, softly, catchy monkey. Because like that ending, we were working on that ending for like ages, weren't we? And then Duncan kind of came in one day and was just like, "What about if we do this?" And then that was it. But I think that must have taken us like, I swear, like 5 or 6 months or something to come up to that point. And then we got it. Once it was there, it was like, right, that was the missing piece, and here we go. But then there's other songs that don't need that much work, and it's like you just naturally let it happen, and it works sometimes. But we're quite critical of each other's playing, actually, to be fair, aren't we? To be honest, and
that is my favourite part about this band.
Oh yeah,
We can actually really, really dig into each other.
Yeah,
and
we can
make each other cry. Like in the most respectful way ever. And we're just like, yeah, you're right. I've got to be better at my instrument. So yeah.
Do you ever have any like difficult conflicts or situations where like you struggle to kind of agree on things, and how do you deal with that?
I think
it's every day, isn't it? It's every day. It's like
we are always
like,
talking to each other.
Well, Seamus described it as the best thing ever, I think, and it's always stuck with me. And it's just like we're in a 4-way relationship trying to keep each other happy. And
what people don't realise about being in a band isn't it? No.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's so true. And you know, we'll always sometimes like there'll be one of us that will come away from a band practice and we'll be like, oh, that was absolutely terrible. But then at the same time as we obviously have said that we dig into each other, we also are massively there for each other, and we're like at the same time we're always there like supporting each other and stuff, and which is a really nice dynamic. You know, it's not just a band; it's like a really solid friendship group as well. I think.
Yeah,
I think that's why we're it's a safe space.
It is, yeah. What goes on in the practice room stays in the practice room, doesn't it? You know, whether you got to be honest though, we're not like having fights though, you know, not like, you know, the Oasis, like Gallagher brothers or anything like that, you know, we're not actually like fisticuffs or anything like that. And to be honest, it doesn't even get abusive really. It's just like, you know, when you get told, oh actually no, what am I on about? Yeah, no, it did get abusive. What am I on about? No,
chatting rubbish.
Yeah.
What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, no, that is a load of rubbish. That is.
Yeah, you're absolutely chatting nonsense.
Yeah.
straight up bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not nice though, is it? When you're being when you think you've got something good, and then like everyone else is like, no, I think that's shit, mate. And that, oh, can I swear? Actually, say later, man.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
I think I remember one song we were. I don't remember what song it was now, and I was just like, "Yeah, Seamus, your drums are just like not what I want." And you finished the entire song, and then it was just like, "Oh, mate, you're killing me!" And you had to redo it all. Like, it was so annoying for him.
But it's a democracy, isn't it? It's a democracy in our band. So you know, if you don't like something, you're outvoted. Then you've got to just get on with it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's the easiest way to get
Suck it up.
Yeah,
there's no Switzerland.
Yeah,
just got to get on with it.
Exactly.
So you have a vote, do you?
Yeah,
we quite often do.
Yeah. We have referendums probably every practice.
Yeah.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because we used to be 5 and then now we're 4. And now sometimes it's like 50-50 and we're like, oh, what do we do now? It's like,
that is the hardest.
Two against 2.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that actually. So you said there was another person in the band. What was the story there?
Oh, so we did have a guy called Josh in the band. He was a guitarist actually. Good lad, to be fair to him. But he's just kind of didn't want to do music really and commit to bands anymore, really. Like, it is quite a commitment as well, like putting yourself through a band as well, because you've got, like, we do a weekly practice. So that's like one of your evenings taken up, like, every single day of the week. Well, every day. So what am I saying here? At least once a week.
Every week.
Yeah, every week. Yeah, that's what I meant. Every week. Yeah. And so you've got that. And then obviously, if you want to gig as well, like, you know, if you want to get out and do loads of gigs as well, which is like what we always try and do all the time. And we've got a gig coming up on the Louisiana as well, actually, on the December the 15th, but I guess more about that later. But yeah, so you've got gigs and things, and there's a lot to commit to as well. And there's, or even outside of that, when you're kind of like designing things, or like what you want to put on social media, simple things like that as well. Like it takes a lot of time, like an effort, going to the studio to record and all this, and and even money as well. You've got to invest in the money side of it too. Like being in a band as well can be expensive at times, so you got to be prepared to like pay obviously your petrol if you're going far away and stuff like that, or studio fees, so even rehearsal fees. So it's a big commitment, but I think he was just like didn't want it. His heart wasn't into it anymore, really. And when you've got someone who's not their heart into it anymore, it's not really like great to have it around, really, or try to force that person be there. So so he's left at the beginning of this year, and we kind of thought that we needed another, like, to fill that hole straight away, have another guitarist in. So we did have quite a few auditions, but then we kind of decided not doing that and see if we could like rearrange everything as a 4-piece of all the sort of songs we already had. And then we kind of realized we're not in a rush now to fill that position again, really. So, but it's open. It's still open. Yeah, it's still open in terms of potentially having another guitarist. But we haven't been necessarily needing it as late, really. To be honest, we've been finding to make music all right. It's just a 4-piece, but it would definitely free you up, wouldn't it, Smudge? Like in terms of that.
Yeah. Like the 5th person for me, definitely, I felt more comfortable as a 5-piece, but I'm enjoying being a 4-piece. But I know that personally, going forward, like just writing songs and stuff like that, it would leave so much space for other things to happen potentially. So just things like vocally, stage presence, it's like a lot of show and a little bit writing, but not much more than that. I mean, I've managed to take some of the parts that I didn't play on some of the songs that we've put onto like some of the songs that we've released as well, like Softly Softly Catchy Monkey. And it's just realizing that when you have a 5th person as well, like one thing that we really take into consideration when we're in a room together, there is the space and the sound and the range of what's being listened to for everyone listening to it outside of the band. So and just having another member, sometimes takes that space away from others. But I mean, we miss Josh because he's a great laugh, but I know that his heart wasn't in it anymore, so that's why he's left.
Fair enough. And like you said, I mean, if you're working fine as a 4-piece, there's no point trying to add someone for the sake of it. As much as it'd be nice, when that right person comes along, I guess it will just happen naturally anyway.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to me maybe
Exactly.
about the tracks that you've released to date, the recording process, video, and maybe like the reception that you've had so far?
Yeah, why not? So we've kind of only on Spotify. If you were going to see us on Spotify, we've only got 2 tracks up there. We did have a song, our first single, Vince, was our first song we released back in 2020 in May, and that I to be honest, I actually quite like the tune. To be fair, I think you do as well, Harry, as well. But like, I mean, I think we all do. But, oh, maybe not. Yeah,
It's not us anymore. We've
Yeah.
definitely found our sound.
Will it? Is in.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah.
It was a good learning experience.
Yeah. But you won't find it now. Basically, the point is you can't listen to that now, so there's no point talking about that one. So
maybe SoundCloud.
Yeah, no, not even SoundCloud. I've taken it. It's not.
Wow.
Yeah, it's no way you can't find it.
Delete.
Maybe we'll release it as a secret B-side one day or whatever, or something like that. So, but that was our first song, and then which you can no longer listen to, and then and then you can and then the next song you've got after that is Overtime, which came out in December. Yeah, on that one. And there's that's still on our Spotify, so you can still listen to that. There's a music video for that as well, which consists of me getting pushed around in a wheelbarrow by Smudge in a green morph suit.
I wasn't there. I wasn't
Oh
there.
yeah, so yeah, oh yeah.
I
No,
wasn't there. I was quite
sorry,
sad.
giving the game away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah. Sorry, giving the game.
Can't
You'll have to
give our
watch the
secrets
video.
away.
You'll have to watch the video. But yeah, so there's a music video that was done by Adam Forbes. That was another cool guy, really cool guy. And then after that, we kind of like we haven't really, well now it's
we did the lockdown EP.
Yeah, lockdown EP.
Yeah, that was fun. So I did that with Josh. I think it 5 tracks.
It was about 5 tracks.
5 tracks. Yeah, that was nice. I think at that point when we first started the band and we weren't really able to play much, and I think being at my girlfriend's mother at the time when we were in lockdown, I couldn't kind of fully get the amp cranked up to 11, get the pedals out to make that 11 sound like 30, and so not being able to do that, I kind of restricted myself and kind of stripped all of it back and think, right, me and a guitar, let's go from there. So I think that was a big kind of like turning point for me when I wanted to make something that was experimental, but being able to do it solo, but then seeing if I could bring some of that stuff and bringing it to the band and seeing if we could develop that. But we didn't end up doing that because, but we did write one song, Seamus and I, that we haven't released yet, but we are recording. We played around during that time when I was like doing it, but Magic Hill, that's going to come out eventually. Seamus, that was written around the same time as that EP. So and then today or last week you've got.
Yeah, I should mention as well though, Smudge, you can't listen to that EP now as well.
Oh,
So there's another thing you can't listen to that we made. So that's not
it's actually in limbo.
So that's another thing gone out the ether. But now we've got to Softly Catchy Monkey, haven't we? Which was released last Friday, 25th of November. Reaction's been quite nice so far from that, and we also got the music video out yesterday for that one too.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was a good day, wasn't it?
That was
don't
brilliant.
Forget
absolutely brilliant.
Nick Pedron for the music video.
Yeah, Nick Pedron.
Oh, yeah.
What a lad.
And Tilly
for the production.
Yeah, and Tilly, our boy Tilly.
Yeah. So that like if you want to watch that as well, that basically consists of, for like all of us in the video, like certain characters in this video where I'm like dressed in a big monkey onesie, going around, like I'm being hunted by Smudge, Harry, and Duncan.
I'm not smudging that. I'm slimy McSwampface. Sorry.
They've all got characters. Method acting, but
very serious.
Yeah. So and then what else happens in that video? Oh well, no, it was just recorded on a nice hot summer's day, wasn't it, as well? So that was really nice and sweaty
through drought season.
Yeah, drought it was, wasn't it? As well, we had the drought, the official drought. Yeah. So, but so that's kind of been us in terms of our releases up to date. So half of our music you can't listen to.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, but there's more coming though. So we've got because we're back in the studio in January, and we recorded like the Softly Catchy Monkey as well. We recorded that with Alfie Tyson Brown as well, and he's the keys player in Katie J Pearson's band, and he's a babe as well. He's a really nice guy. And we recorded that at the Louisiana in their basement as well, because they kind of refurbed that following the pandemic. So, and that's a really cool place. So we recorded another single during that time when we did Softly Catchy Monkey. So that'll be coming out probably around February time, the next single. And then we're going back in the studio, same deal again with Alfie in the Louisiana in January. Are we trying to record 5? Are we going to try and record 5 songs?
I think it's 5, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, so hopefully, so that'll mean that we'll just be releasing loads of music for that whole of 2023, really, to be honest, because there has been gaps where we've not been releasing like consistently, but we've just been gigging a lot, really, especially when like the pandemic was over and all of lockdown was lifted. Like our kind of main thing was just gig, because like we'd been a band for like a year and a bit and like done one gig because of like all the lockdowns and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with our releases and where the music's kind of going at the moment. So there'll be loads of music to come in 2023.
Oh yes.
And in terms of your other promotions and stuff, does one of you look after the social media account? Does a couple of you do it? How does like the business side of your band look?
So I'm mainly admin guy, so as what we call it here, really, to be honest. So I do social media, most of the emails and stuff. Harry does pretty much finance. He's the finance guy.
Finance and merch guy, yeah.
Finance and merch, yeah. And then Smudge obviously like does a lot of like the songwriting and things like that. So that's a big enough job as well in itself. And Duncan just tags along essentially, doesn't he? Really, as well, and gives us opinions and certain things.
Yeah, he gives a hand where he can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He does come up with some good ideas, to be fair to him.
He does. He's a very funny person.
Yeah, so
he does crack me up.
In fact, he does a lot of the video directing as such, doesn't he? Like storyboarding and stuff.
That's true. Yeah.
He does like getting involved in that a lot, to be fair, doesn't he? So we've all got a part to play. But I mainly look after like social media side, and then like emails, things like that, because someone's got to do it, and they.
I do a lot of networking outside, I reckon.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a social butterfly, me. I flutter everywhere.
So you've all got your roles to play, and I think like all of those roles are really important. Sorry, Harry, go on.
No, I was just going to add a little bit extra in there and say that pretty much all of our merch is all handmade as well, which is nice.
Oh yeah,
we don't. That adds to our profit margins very nicely, which is a beautiful thing to be able to support our listeners and / customers extras to know that actually the band has actually made the t-shirt they're wearing as well as the music they're listening to.
Not just that though, as well, Harry. To be fair, like we don't just do t-shirts, do we? No.
What have we else got? Toothbrushes, stickers. We've got like 5 things, haven't we? We've got honey. So I'm a beekeeper as well, and then we sell honey there at our gigs as well, which is always goes down well actually, because people are like, "Oh, honey at a gig? Yeah, all right, I'll take some of that."
That's with the honey as well. That people
unique.
Actually queue for the honey because they finish it and then they want more.
They come back.
It's a very weird merch. They've got to come back to the gig because they want it because it's that delicious.
Yeah. And our hats always go down well.
Then we sell like cakes and plants once, like in Swansea.
We did.
Yeah.
That went down a tree.
Yeah, we did. An actual treat.
So nothing's off limits.
No, just like the music, nothing is off limits with our merch as well. It almost seems the weirder the better.
Love it. It's definitely memorable, right? Like you don't normally get honey at a gig, so.
yeah, exactly.
From our own bees.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, if I looked out that window now, I could see it. Yeah, I could see the bees where we get our honey from, which is great.
So guys, it's been great chatting today. We're nearly out of time, but I've got 2 last points to cover. So the first thing is, what's the plan for the future from here? And then also, is there anything else you'd like to leave the audience with as we close out today?
Ooh, that's good. Well, I guess I'll do the future part, I guess. So for the future, I kind of sort of semi-explained it earlier, really, but we've got going back in the studio in January to record 5 more songs. So that the big plan really for next year is kind of having a consistent sort of release schedule in terms of releasing songs out there. Because to be fair, we've done quite a lot of gigs this year as well, but we definitely want to keep that going moving into 2023 as well. And then that will also extend to things like festivals as well. So there's a lot of like festival application stuff that I've been going through this weekend already to kind of get the ball rolling on that. So the near future, definitely in terms of like just getting on more like festivals would be a really nice one for summer, because we've not really done any festivals as such, really. I think we've done Dot to Dot maybe once or something like that.
Never done it.
We've never done it, have we?
Never done it.
Oh yeah, we've never done it. Yeah,
We did.
so-
We played Glastonbury though.
Oh
We
yeah,
did
that's
play
true.
Glastonbury,
Yeah. We played Glastonbury
Yeah.
this year, so that was a good highlight.
Twice.
And then Harbourfest as well. That was the one I was thinking of. Yeah, we played Harbourfest, didn't we, as well in Bristol this year? But so yeah, like more festivals like around everywhere would be nice. And
It's a shame. I don't know why you've got to be all serious with all of this. Do you know what I mean? I just want to shake Radcliffe and McConey's hand for making my day every Saturday. Do you know what I mean?
are they your favourite radio DJs on radio?
They're so much fun. They just make me chuckle in the morning. I'm like, oh, you guys.
Yeah, but no, that's the serious part then from it, like and that. But it's just festivals, releasing music, gigging. There's literally no game plan apart from that, really, to be honest. And try to just play to bigger and bigger audiences as you go along, really.
Yeah.
No stopping us.
Yeah. And then what do we want to leave people with? I guess what our most promoted, like our most recent stuff, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we give the music video a good watch and listen to our track and let us know what you think. I think because we're all of us have got access to our Instagram and I really like that friendly feeling that we've got, and chatting to all of you on Instagram is always a good laugh. So let us know what you think. And
I want some criticism.
You want some constructive criticism.
Some criticism.
No, I want some insults, actually. No, I want some.
Insult.
We've not had hate yet, have we? No, not any. Like,
no, not yet. Send us all the hate that you can give. Yeah, why not?
I want to see.
I'm just going to give you back the love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see the hate messages. Oh well, when's this going out, Dan? As well, is this near Christmas time by any chance? Because we can wish everyone a Merry Christmas as well, seeing as I'm in the spirits and all that.
You've got your hat on, so you may as well do it today.
Yeah, why not?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Nice one. Thanks
Happy
for your time,
holidays.
guys.
Well,
leave it
cheers,
there.
Dan.
Cheers, and Dan.
Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.
So.
Bye.